What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Man, this is going to be shout out to Brother Ticket TV. I saw he did a video talking about this developing story. I think that in the next coming days, this is going to dominate NBA talk. As far as the major networks is concerned. This just goes to show you, A, the level of corruption that exists in sports, and B, the lack of, in my opinion, control and respect that Adam Silver gets from those involved in the NBA. So if you haven't heard, the Los Angeles Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, and let's just say Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard. Okay, I see this article saying Clippers. It's really it's the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, and Kawhi Leonard are under the microscope and in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, thanks to a bombshell investigation by Pablo Torre. In his latest report, Torre uncovered financial documents that suggested Leonard may have received $28 million from a fraudulent environmental company called Aspiration, with the money potentially serving as a backdoor benefit connected to Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. So the story begins with Kawhi's 2019 free agency, one of the most dramatic in NBA history. Leonard, fresh off leading the Toronto Raptors to their first and so far only championship, was the most coveted player in that year's free agency market. The Lakers, who were the media favorite to land Leonard, and at one point in time seemed to be the favorite to land Leonard overall, pairing him with LeBron James and Anthony Davis looked like it was almost a surefire thing, and they were the front runners. Suddenly, out of the blue, Kawhi Leonard signs the Clippers. Now, the Toronto Raptors also had some odds to retain him as well. But as I said, Leonard shocked the world by joining the Clippers on a 3-year, $103 million deal. He later signed a 4-year, $176 million extension, and last year signed a 3-year, $149 million extension. You know, the same extension that prior to that signing, he played like 28 consecutive games, and all of a sudden, once he signed it, he went back to, Kawhi, I'll play when I want to play Leonard. At the time, rival executives whispered that Balmer, one of the richest men in the world, who's last time I checked has an estimated net worth of $170 billion, must have found a way to sweeten the pot. The NBA investigated but found no evidence of wrongdoing. Now, Torre's discovery reopens that question. The key lies in Aspiration, a celebrity-backed company marketed as a, quote, tree brokerage promising to offset carbon emissions. Stars like Robert Downey Jr., Drake, and even Kawhi's then head coach, Doc Rivers, promoted the brand. But when Aspiration filed for bankruptcy earlier this year in March, its list of creditors contained an eye-catching entry, KL2 Aspire, LLC. Under manager or member, the name listed was Kawhi Leonard. The company owed this LLC $7 million. From there, Torre and his team uncovered signed documents proving that Kawhi had a $28 million marketing agreement with Aspiration, paying him $7 million annually. So this is the problem. Unlike the other celebrities, Leonard never once publicly mentioned or promoted this company. There were no ads, no interviews, no posts or appearances linked to him. According to a former Aspiration Finance employee, Leonard's contract was an open secret inside the company. And The employee said, I was told, oh, this is to circumvent the salary cap. It was the single largest marketing deal aspiration ever paid out, and Kawhi didn't have to do anything. Now, technically, this is a breach of contract, right? So you have to ask yourself, if this is a breach of contract, why didn't the company ever sue Kawhi Leonard? Because the evidence strongly suggests that this was a quid pro quo. We're going to pay you Steve Balmer, I'm going to pay you nearly $30 million under the table through this sham company to sweeten the pot under the table, outside of the realm of NBA circle, outside of, the NBA cap space, or NBA payroll, I should say, not cap space, and sweeten the pot for you to come play with the Clippers. I don't know about you all, but if this was David Stern that was commissioner, if this was, say, 15, 20 years ago, Steve Ballmer probably would be removed as an owner from the NBA, or at the very least, Steve Ballmer would be suspended for being an owner from the NBA for a couple of years. Minimum, like how they did George Steinbrenner. When they found out that he was, I think he was spying on Dave Winfield or something like that. I forgot some of the details of that. But he was spying on Dave Winfield, and I think he was bad-mouthing, his organization was bad-mouthing Dave Winfield to other teams or some shit like that. And I think Major League Baseball banned George Steinbrenner from operating the team for a couple of years. I think for like 2 years or something like that. But this is arguably worse, though, man. Look, I can't remember all the details, right? Because I haven't been able to do a little research, but I remember like 20 years ago, maybe, or a little bit more than 20 years ago, the Timberwolves got in trouble, if I remember correctly, for paying Joe Smith under the table, right? This might have been like 25 years ago, maybe 24, 25 years ago. They were paying Joe Smith minimum below what his market value was. But I think it came out that he was actually getting paid under the table under the promise that when his contract year would be up or would come up, they would sweeten the pot and pay him handsomely. The NBA found out about that, and they penalized the fuck out of the Timberwolves. I mean, I think they had penalties as far as millions of dollars. They lost picks. Honestly, Joe Smith was never the same player after that. And it was terrible, but this is worse. This is worse. And to be honest with you, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This should be a stain on the Clippers' already tattered legacy as a franchise. And this should be a stain on Kawhi Leonard's legacy. And I don't want to hear no excuses about, because I know some Kawhi Leonard fans will come in here and make excuses. No, it's not. You already got enough shit people get on you about. There's enough stuff that people get on you about already, bro. So you made all this money. Now look, we have to say allegedly, right? But the evidence is over fucking whelming here. So you've made all this money in your NBA career. On top of that, $30 million under the table by your current owner. No wonder he gets so much fucking treatment so much royal treatment. Then, if the NBA investigates this further, you got to ask yourself something else. Like, okay, I'm assuming that Balmer initiated this possible quid pro quo situation, right? But was it Balmer? Because we know some of the hard bargain negotiation tactics that Leonard and I think his uncle at the time were making when it came to the Raptors and why they turned them down. So who knows? Kawhi could have, pushed the Clippers to do that. And, I'm just like, man, look. With the team y'all got today, the team that the Clippers have now, man, I don't want no excuses for this dude now, bro. The Clippers got to get it done. On paper, the Clippers are, on paper at least, a really good team. And now that we got to acknowledge that he got an extra $30 million to sign with this organization, then they need to go to the finals at the very least. NBA finals a bust for this Clippers team. Now what he did was very, in my opinion, unethical. As far as Kawhi Leonard's concerned, what Steve Ballmer did was extraordinarily unethical. And it shouldn't just be on Kawhi Leonard, it should be on Steve Ballmer too. And that's the problem I have. Don't put it all on Kawhi Leonard, put Steve Ballmer ass out there too. But I have a sinking suspicion too that this is not the only situation that this has happened. I don't think so. I don't think so. And if it gets out that there have been other situations and other times that this has occurred under Adam Silver's watch, man, it just goes. I'm telling you, man, this guy's been a horrible commissioner, man. He needs to step the fuck down, bro. He don't have his finger on the pulse of the NBA at all, man. These guys don't respect him, man. He's a pushover. He's too busy sitting in his office thinking of ways to ruin the game and shit. I think if maybe we did an old timers game where we have some of the older players, right? Let's hear me out here, fellas. We have some of the older players participate in the dunk contest. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Joe? I mean, man, that's a hell of a risk for insurance, isn't it? I mean, some of guys in the 50s and 60s. Yeah. I think that'll be still delicious. Let's think about that one. All right? I mean, we got to lower the rim like what? Maybe 3 feet? Well, maybe. I don't think that's a good idea, Adam. Well, we got to do something. How about this? How about we have the players play an actual game and we make the court a maze, like a game. Man, get this nigga the fuck up out of here, man.